Okay, so today we're going to get to see probably a shorter video because I have to get to work in like an hour or something. It is 4:50 in the morning and I spent like an hour setting this up. So we're going to be using our Zoom Fathom thing so that I can start making videos that are more easily trackable, and I will share my screen so you know what that looks like. Window, entire screen. Let's share the infinity chamber and then fix that. Infinity chamber. Okay, so there is our live stream. No more infinity chamber. And you should be able to see the translations. Why am I picking these translations? Yes, we are going to use Hindi. Why? Because if we look at our analytics, I think you're seeing my screen, right? Yeah, you are. Okay, if we look at our analytics for our channel, we can see that the majority of our friends are from India at Maharashtra. And so to accommodate and to show my gratitude to our friends in India, I looked up what language do people in India speak. And let's see, is it this? Wasn't this? So they mostly speak sometimes Marathi, sometimes English and Hindi, but sometimes sarcasm and arrogance. I'm going to try to really like cater to that audience. Just kidding. Actually, I'm so bad at sarcasm, but arrogance, I'm a master at. Okay, so anyway, what are we going to be looking at now besides our data? So, well, actually, we're talking about data. So how do I make sure that what I'm doing, building this like Elsa's machine thing that I'm building, is actually really capitalizing on our data? If you look at our homepage here, the next frame that I'm making with HTML is this one on the left-hand side. All the other ones already pretty much work the way that we want them to. So why am I using HTML? Well, because it's easier for me to upload with FTP bulk loads of updates, but also because I can automate it more easily, and I also don't have to pay like through the nose for like all of the cybersecurity that I'm paying for right now using WordPress and such. And I know that there's ways to do that, but it's like too much work for me. And then there are places that will handle the cybersecurity side, but then I don't get to have like the freedom with the way the page works as much. Also because there is a lot of data that shows that people much prefer like a more simple website design. So what this is it just like, I was able to fix this from the other day. So it just collapses, and this isn't connected yet because it's just my local version. But here is like where people will be able to ask a chatbot questions. And so my chatbots are like super secure, and they're not like the kind where you just like get a free chatbot and a little bubble goes on the bottom. They're actually like very much what an LLM is intended to be, using AI. And I am actually surprised that this is not showing in Hindi. You said Hindi, right? Why are any of them in Hindi? No, let me change this to Hindi. Let's see if our captions should be in Hindi. Yeah, see? Like now it's working, right? Hindi. I said Hindi. Okay. So how are we using data to capture this? I'm going to try to make sure that you can still see the captions and also be able to see the like the actual stuff that we're looking at. So let me slide stuff around. Okay, there we go. You can only see part of my face. There, you can only see like, there. It's so awkward. Okay, we're just gonna make my face bigger, and then I'm gonna add a highlight here, like, why are we doing this? Okay, so why are we doing this way? So like, why are we using HTML and highlight? Like, I actually did reach out to Fathom, and they don't have a way to make the links accessible unless like I pay for a license for each email address that is under my AI architect's license, which is sad but true. However, I do think that as this evolves, people will be more than happy to pay for that so that they can sift through the videos, when I do the school.com prompt engineering, for which I am looking for 10 good people. And if you're curious about what that looks like, so actually, like you guys, well, actually, I didn't really set like a topic, but let me just show you this where you can sign up for this course, prompt engineering. I haven't visited it. I'm not sure what will be in there. Okay, so here is prompt engineering. We're still waiting. Oh, we have like plenty of notifications. So there's one member, there's one admin. I might like have to do some stuff in here to get this to work because I haven't actually checked on this a lot. However, what I have checked on is my influencers. So this is actually me. See, like Elsa at a computer smiling. Here's me. So now I don't have to like comb my hair. I could just like make stuff like this. And the next big exploration will be stable diffusion because this does like runway ML. And actually, let me pull up the Hindi side because like they actually do a lot of stuff there with runway ML over there in Hindi. And let me pull this. I think I can move this. Oh, I can. I should just, oh, it has to be like here in the monitor. All right, I think you can still see that. I don't see that you're able to see that on your screen. So let's put it up here so that you can see that. Okay, that's better. All right, so then I'm going to try some stable diffusion stuff today, later today. And so yeah, there's me at a computer. It kind of looks like me, right? Like if I was like, but when I was 20, I didn't look like that. Maybe I did and I just didn't know. No, actually, I usually look more like Sandra Bullock. I think this, maybe, I don't know, like I can see my features in there, but it's also so like general. It's kind of weird. I guess this one top left, maybe I might look like that. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Anyway, those are the sisters I never had. I just create a bunch of my own sisters. Okay, so yeah, so we're looking at our data. We want to see like where is our data coming from? Most of it comes from short feed, and there's more significant data. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to be like the world's foremost chatbot developer is at least my goal, or at least like always be top of mind when people are like, I need a chatbot. And when I say chatbot, it really encompasses a whole shit ton of stuff, like including all of the future of digital art is based on chatbots and like your ability to prompt a image generator correctly. Everything in code is like turning towards, can you ask the right questions and debug it that way? And there's also all of the data science and analytics that is becoming more prompt driven. And I can't tell if this, and I didn't say Trump. Is it because, is my microphone not working right? Let me see. Like maybe it should be this microphone. I'm not sure which microphone it should be. This will also probably help me enunciate better. Is that any better? It's kind of weird because I can't hear through these headphones. I can't hear myself talk like I do with some other headphones. Okay, now I can hear myself there. And I don't know if it's going to sound weird to you guys, but whatever. I mean, not whatever, but like, I don't know how to fix that right now. Is this, okay, yeah, so the sound is going through here and through my headphones now. Yeah, this is a lot of like nonsense for the beginning of this video. But anyway, so what we're looking at is we want to be able to track like how are we doing globally, because I'm it's like a moonshot is what Elon Musk calls it. And so I'm looking at my Ahrefs data, and this stuff does require a subscription, by the way. And so here we can see our backlinks, and backlinks make a difference with how fast you rank. I can also see that I actually don't have any keywords. So if you see here, like something terrible happened around Christmas and all my websites went down. But I think that this shows us that I when I started running these again, which was just like the other day, like I am doing something right because it immediately started crawling up. And when I first started this, there was like literally no real data for any of this. Nobody was really talking about chatbots, but I caught the trend. So how did I catch the trend? I used Google Analytics, like Google search trends and some Ahrefs data to check and see, like, how do I start coming up for something that doesn't yet exist? And so the reason why my rank is so low is going to be because I'm competing against like literally ChatGPT. So I'm not trying to compete against them, but I am going to like hone in on the long tail keywords and the likely phrases that people might ask when they're looking for someone to build them a chatbot. And we're going to look at my homepage here. So what I'm doing right now is I'm using that data to make the decision on what to call this web page. So when you go to Google Search Console, which is over here, I'll show you this right here. Google Search Console. You're going to see that. I really hope that it sounds okay for you guys. And I actually should have connected to TikTok, but I will next time. So let's go ahead and start. Let me log in. And I think what's interesting is that there isn't data here, like, because my website did exist prior to this, and it was like showing results. So that's kind of interesting. But anyway, oh, well, see, like you can kind of see it here. I see like pages started showing up at that time, but it's fine. What I'm trying to say is that I can use these indexed pages. I can leverage what I named those to capture more of like the chatbot stuff, traffic, by creating separate HTML pages is my I guess theory. Because I was looking at the way even Ahrefs redid all of their data. So if you see over here, there's a dip in here, which you might not see on this page, but I can show you for example, for Art of Ink is a website that I am working closely with for the sake of promoting these things, because I really believe in this. See, like these are called, let's see if I can show you. These are called tattoo cards. And I have not like had a chance to really deep dive into their Shopify. However, they do have the website tattoocards.com, and of course I get a cut from the sales. I haven't set up any lead generations to like track that, but I'm like really excited about their product because I really think it can help a lot of people stay safe. So like basically what you do is you put like the syringe things in here, right? So like as you're getting a tattoo, which I mean, I obviously I like tattoos because it's the one art that you actually take to your grave with you. So anyway, like when I found out that that tattoo artist like was looking for a better SEO deal, also had patented this, I was like, well, like that's a noble cause in my book. So I will use my powers for good and support that cause. And so that's whose website we're looking at now. And so when I first took over this website was in like late November, I believe. So see, like now his website is ranked at $41. Organic traffic, it's at 39, but let me show you the, believe it was here, where I can show you that using the data correctly makes such a big difference. And why am I showing you this? Because it, in my opinion, at least what I'm seeing professionally, is that it doesn't really matter that you have a ton of degrees. It doesn't matter if you can hand code like Python in your sleep. Like nobody cares about that. It's more like, how are you using AI to ingest data and to like make wise decisions that are scalable and easy to pivot from one day to another? Scalable. Wow, this thing is really not picking up. Either I have an accent or something. So I guess the best thing I can do is continue to point at stuff so you can see it. All right, so we're gonna look at the, I believe it was here. I think it's the organic competition. So this is their competition Referring to domains, calendar, opportunities. Actually, it's actually under top content. So I'm going to show you like why it matters to be data driven. Ugh, this thing, and it's going so slow. Well, there goes that, right? But I did take a picture. I did show it with my YouTube shorts that I uploaded where I was showing you some data. No, actually, I didn't capture it there either. Hold on, let me find it. I did take a screenshot. Let's see. Let me look at the screenshots because I know I took a screenshot because I was going to use it to send to them later today. Desktop screenshots. So let's find it. It might have been this. It's going to have been one of these here. And not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Ah, here we go. Okay. So it is top pages. That's kind of weird. See, like right here, it says top pages doesn't have anything, right? Oh, it's because I clicked on top content, not top pages. Duh. Okay, so if we look at top pages, this is the image that I'm looking at that I just took like maybe like an hour ago. So I'm going to show you. So here, I was talking to a data analyst friend, right? And this is the difference between what I can teach you and like what you're going to maybe like pick up from other places. And I think that this is what's making the difference with being able to like quickly rank something and including e-commerce. Like I am really confident that using the new AI tools and basically shortcutting through a lot of the BS that as a data scientist you have to face, and then a lot of the the computer science and the scalability and the analytics is all getting like collapsed into like just this one role, which I think sounds nuts, but I mean, that's what I can see here and what I can speak to, right? So this was not a dip in the content quality. This was like Ahrefs did something with their words. So my analyst friend was like, well, I have to develop like a story around like, what's happening and what happened that day. And this is one of the key skills I show you is like, you don't have to do all that extra work. Like it'll tell you, that day or around that time, Ahrefs did something, so it's going to look like this. So I took over this website around, I would say like around right here, around November. And it was like when they lost all of their previous SEO because they had decided to quit with that overly priced, non-performant SEO company because it wasn't actually ranking them higher. And I investigated. So they lost the SEO that they had gained when they had opened their business. Then see like, what was this? I can't see it there, but let's see it over here. See, so like I redid their page around this time to try to bring up their page. And then you can see here, like this is when Ahrefs went down. But see, like from January 14th to February the 9th, like they're already climbing up in organic traffic and they're at position 16. So like mark that today, they're at position 16. It's February 9th, 2024. So I suspect that after I do, like work some magic here, like over the weekend, that they'll be ranking around 10th by 2 weeks from now. And that's some of the stuff that I go over in my course. And the reason that I'm getting better and better at this is because I'm not just like doing your traditional, like, oh, like let's look at our Ahrefs data, let's look at our backlinks, let's look at our word count. I'm pulling in data from a lot of places, from Google search trends. So Google search trends, Ahrefs, and then I'm also plugging it into this, which I removed from that window, but I'm going to show you the screenshot of what I'm talking about. See, so like here is sales forecasting. So this actually is able to ingest a lot of data. So I don't know if I guess this doesn't really let me like, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm like, let me see if you can see this. I bet you can. Yeah, you can see like that, that text box. See, like sales, web traffic, inventory numbers, cash flow, etc. In their case, they're in e-commerce, so the SEO is going to be slightly different. And I do not typically go into e-commerce, but I have recently people have started asking me about selling all sorts of stuff. So this is the kinds of data that I think really outdoes whatever anybody's review could ever say about me. So I don't even bother having a Google profile because number one, like I'm aiming for global because it's not like El Paso is filled with people wanting chatbots. Trust me, it's not. And so the value in this data is also because I'm able to see globally. Well, not for this one. I actually am marking today as the beginning date where I show even more progress for my own website, AI Architects. But I'm able to see globally like how stuff is doing. And that's all stuff that I cover in my course. Anyway, that said, I'm going to go back to over here to my dashboard, to my Keywords Explorer. I'm going to look for the right way to name my frame that we're working on over here, because I have I actually don't remember. I think it's like between 50 and 70 or 80 websites. So I can look over here and I can look at my keywords, and I already have them here under, I don't believe that I changed them, Art of Being, Roofers, AI Arcs, Home, AI Architects. So see, I have like 626 keywords listed. And I'm actually surprised that, where's Art of Ink? Yeah, see, they have 48 keywords, but it's only registering 19. And I did find out like how to add more keywords. So that's what I'm gonna be doing over the weekend. That's something that I can show you. If you sign up for skool.com, or maybe I'll make a video, I'm not sure yet. And when I do take another cohort, it's going to be similar to the other video that I uploaded, where it's like a small group of people that have like at least a solid understanding, of like fundamentals of code or data, and have like a real drive to capitalize on the AI gold rush, and that are self-minded self-learners, like that can that let me just go through and answer their questions, and then they can watch the video again later. Like I really appreciated that cohort because they're like such good vibe and attitude, and I'm already like passing along job leads to them and stuff. So I'm just looking for the next group. Anyway, what I'm doing here is I am looking for the right way to name my website, and I have all this data, right? So I am not going to name it anything to do with ChatGPT, because obviously there's like too much competition for that. So I'm going to narrow down my search. From 0 to 20 is the suggested by most places if you look it up. So then we want global volume. I heard that like around 500, minimally 500 is the right one, because it is like how much traffic is expected through your website, was my understanding about it. And I know it just seemed kind of weird that there's also like traffic potential. I'm just going to put it in both places, and actually I can look up global volume over here. So if I look at global volume, don't know if you have it here. Global, yeah, it doesn't actually come up, so that's okay. I'm gonna look it up. Positions, location. I will look it up later, but I'm just gonna leave it at 500 for now. But here is where I can see like globally, like how is this stuff doing? So I already looked up Google Search Console, and I know that like in the US is really where people are really looking into it. And it's been a little bit, like it's fluctuated a little bit between the UK and I believe it was Australia that had a lot of traffic. But I'm going to focus on the US for now, because they're going to pay better for now. And I know that like pretty soon, like the UK will also pick up traction on wanting more of this technology, especially once the pricing comes out, and like the stability of it, and like the quality between what a real chatbot is and like what like some of these like rinky dink ones are, and sometimes I guess the rinky dink ones are okay, but I haven't really seen when they're okay. Anyway, I have one on my site that is like just there as an example. I wouldn't suggest going to my website because I don't even use it. If you want to find me on LinkedIn. I'm at LinkedIn Elsa-data-sci, like science. So Elsa Data Sci. So it's actually this one. See, like that's my LinkedIn. So like I don't even read my emails much. I don't answer my phone. I don't check any emails except for my job, my contract right now. And this is really the only way to find me. Because I also can help you get what you need because I'm on a contract right now with non-disclosure, and I very much respect that. And I'm also part of a CEO, digital CEO for school thing. So I am not gonna violate any of that. However, I do know how to get you what you need through architecting something and then supervising it on my free time during the weekends, or plug and play into what I'm building as a software as a product, software as a service, I'm sorry, with these websites of the future. And that is how you can find me. If you have more questions, if you need to consult with me, it is $900 per hour, and that is cheap. And like I have a mad set of skills, so I can't just like sit around and chit chat with people about this stuff, you know, and because I'm like my plate is super full. But not just that, but like I just feel like if I follow the same pricing model as what are they called? Morningside, I think is what they're called. Like all the videos with Liam Otley, like they don't even use code. They all their stuff is low code, no code, and he charges $900 an hour. Like what he's really good at is the business side and like promoting his stuff. So and he gets people to help him like understand the code to the point where it's impressive that he like is able to do like a lot of stuff. And so I steal like an artist from him quite often. But if they're charging 900 an hour and they're not like software developers and they have someone on their team, but they're still using low code, no code without all of like the cybersecurity stuff that I'm doing and the like scalability and the optimization through AWS and like Lambdas and DynamoDB and being able to index through your database, like I think that this is actually very much underpriced. So, you know, do what you want, or you can sign up for my school course. It'll probably be 2 to 3 hours every other Saturday, and it's I think $999 a month, which is half of this cost. So you might as well sign up for the course versus pay me for 1 hour, because then you get 3 hours. But I will only start the course when I have like 10 people, because again, like my plate is so full. And it's just more fun and it's better anyway, and it like really helps people learn faster, I think, because everybody brings different perspectives with questions. And I did teach kindergarten for 9 years. So, I'm elementary school, mostly kindergarten, bilingual. So I do understand like how to like get everybody to where they need to be, even if people come in with different skill sets. But I do suggest like a barrier to entry. I do think if you don't have like some kind of coding background, you're gonna find it like tricky to find value in that. So if you just have general questions where you want me to help you understand like what AI can do for you, like what is AI, like is it really gonna kill us all, I'll answer to the best of my abilities. So we are going to go back over here and look at our data. So I had already kind of perused this data actually, but this is the kinds of stuff that we use. And so here in my sitemap, actually, this is what I want to show you. See, in my sitemap, I'm able to see like what is in my website, and Ahrefs changed the way that they're tracking some of this stuff. So I think the biggest bang for my buck is to just create the good old HTML iframes, which I know some people are like, that's so stupid, but it's like, trust me, like I have put so much effort into designing these to be able to easily do like schemas, because the websites of the future will be using schemas. They will not be just relying on keywords. In fact, like you can find that information in a slew of places where schemas have always been a great way to rank higher, like no matter what. Like that's old school news, right? But now, like what I'm going to do is in my GPT, I'm going to like build out all of this basic form is going to persist, And I'll show you why, because see, like over here, I have this website that already has like a less sophisticated chatbot in it. But see, like I have this in HTML, you can see it up here, right? And then all I did was like attach it to my WordPress website as a separate page. So now I don't have to worry about cyber attacks and all that stuff. And every time that I'm going to add a new website, like I have Python code that updates all of this. And in this case, see, like this Lambda does not record any session information other than the ID so that it can keep the conversation string. And then it tells me which of the different chatbot versions people picked so that I can have a better sense of like, oh, people want like, they rather talk to animals over aliens or whatever. So just so you know, like, see, like this is fully functional. I feel kind of scared about job security. No, I don't feel that way. I don't feel scared about anything. I feel kind of happy about my personal life. And then it's already customized to have the conversation. So see on the right-hand side, so all of these are prompted. It's shrinko.me. My first degree is in psychology. So I really built this because when I started using AI, I was like, people are going to start shooting themselves in the head once they realize that we're all like so irrelevant. And it's like a mind warp. Like once you start to see the way that it's collapsing jobs, the way that it's like changing everything. And we no longer are the superior species. I mean, AI is being called a species. Anyway, that's why I prompted it this way, just to kind of help people that can't go to the shrink because they might not have insurance, but also because there's some stuff that you just don't want on your records. It makes it really hard, especially if you're ever going to consider the military, the Space Force or whatever. Like if you have psych records, it's such a hassle, says my friend. But even coming out of there, like there's some of us, we just need something to talk to, right? And that's why I built this website. And so this is an example of, oh, and here's some more of the security. Like once you navigate away, everything gets erased. So it's, like it's in a DynamoDB. I never really look at it, but I will eventually pull it for data. But it's so that people can start chatting with it, but also because it is super scalable. Like I really have never had to babysit this. I just make a new website and I add my chatbot. And so over here in my homepage, that same layout is going to exist down here in the bottom half. And that's what the data had shown me that people were going to really prefer in the future. And then instead of this logo or this chatbot image, I am going to be adding a Web3 object that is manipulable, and the schemas. And over here is what we're going to work on today. And I do have already videos where I show you how I made this stuff work. I don't push my code. Did I push this code? I didn't push it to GitHub. I might push it to GitHub, but I doubt it because honestly, it's just HTML. And I don't know. I guess if anybody asks me to, I will. If there's any like serious request for it, I will. So yeah, so I think this is it for this video. I just wanted to show you like why I'm doing it this way. Like what are some of the things to look out for in terms of how SEO is evolving and I think the main takeaway from here is it is an AI gold rush, but if you want to be at the front of the line for the one that gets called up to get to do stuff, like you have to have more than the basic skills of like, I can go to Ahrefs and hover over a word and then it tells me what it means. Like anybody can do that. Like there's no real skill in that. And furthermore, it's not that it isn't valuable. It's that you're competing against AI now. Like you're going to have to be able to understand like this kinds of stuff, in my opinion, whether you do it through AWS or you build your own code or whatever, but like understanding how to expedite the turnaround rate for making highly accurate, highly usable sales forecasting for anybody, because this is just like a very specific e-commerce, which I said, that's not like what I usually do as my side hustles. But like being able to use the data in a way that is like helping people pivot in the right direction quickly. Like nobody wants to take 4 weeks for you to build some code that like someone else is going to have to figure out to use, like the I guess business side of things. Or like if I'm talking to like a local business owner, like they don't need to know all the data science. And honestly, like, do I think I could outdo Amazon's forecasting tools? No. Because if someone's selling products on Amazon's probably going to have the best tools because they built it, like, so I don't know yet what this has that wouldn't be available in other stuff. I'm going to look through that over the weekend. But this is my suggestion to you, is like, don't just like learn surface level crap. And I don't know if it makes sense to others. Like, I'm gifted and talented, so I don't know what others wouldn't just get. I mean, there's been so many cases where like, I guess like maybe millennials experience this more, where like they're like, show your work, and you're like, but what work is there? Like, it's obvious. Like, I don't even know how to tell someone, like, you obviously have to learn how to understand this stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'll leave it at that. I guess if anybody has specific questions, please find me on LinkedIn or message this channel. And as you can see here, based on the last episode, we are moving this along. And today I will add the collapsible stuff over here. The code is, I can show you the code real quick for those that were here about the code. I'm using Code Cursor with VS Code. I love it. There are other things you can use, but so far, like Code Cursor has been more than sufficient to do the job for the stuff that I'm doing. This is all just HTML. So all I'm doing is I have like different frames, like the different colors are different frames. Iframes are called. And so each one has their own CSS for the sake of, like, I don't know, I guess it's like making it interesting. And I might be able to use the same CSS for all of them. I'm not sure. Is this like the most best like HTML ever? No, it's like super simple, but I don't care about that. I care about, like, does it work? Can I put it through my Python and just like build my machine and feed it like my keywords and all my other data, and just have it like on a cron job, like pump out the right pages with the right images, so that every time that I need to, my FTP bulk upload does the job for me, and I get to be the lazy automation person that built this once and then pressed return once and it does the job. And that's what I did for my data science project, which was about dogs getting adopted and being like kept for good. So it was like dog adoption rates. So that's what I did for that project. I like literally pressed the return key once and like the whole thing like ran itself. I got the data. I learned some lessons about truncated data with that. But it's been, I don't know, like 8 years that I've been doing AI stuff, NLP, ML, stuff like that. So now I know better. But anyway, yeah, that's why I'm doing this. And so this code right here, I just used I just used Code Cursor. So if you select the whole thing, if you're using VS Code with Code Cursor, see, like, you can add it to the chat over here. It'll add it to the right-hand side, and then you can ask it questions about your code, and then you can interact with your entire code base, or you can just ask about that section of code. This is connected to my ChatGPT 4 like business license. So I have some privacy there, like this isn't supposed to be getting added to ChatGPT at all. And even if it did, it's pretty mundane. These are some of the websites. So I think this is where it has so these are my websites. And I can tell you from the data that I was looking at, I can tell you, yeah, it's like, I think Code Cursor, though, I think it takes up so much of my RAM that it just like starts to get stuck. And I have like multiple, like, what are these called? Windows open. So I should probably close them. But I looked at my data, and I don't recall where it was, or else I would just do it now. But see, like how I have like .us, .com, .org. So I need to make sure that I add some backlinks to my website and the Art of Ink Studio website with .org, .net, and I don't have one for .edu. I don't know if they'll let me get one of those, or .gov. but those will help with ranking. And that was like one of the later Ahrefs updates. So those are the kinds of things that I look at with the data, and then it helps me design all this stuff, and it helps me decide like, should I have no links, or like what is it, no follow? Should these be no follow? Should I be pointing back towards my AI architects with no follow links because I'm deploying these from the same IP address, or should I get a VPN so that as I deploy them, like the Ahrefs data or the Google console doesn't flag me just because I'm building a shit ton of websites, and then they like don't let me have, like I guess this machine taking full advantage of being able to build a shit ton of stuff right away. And all of this was really possible with automation anyway, but the big twist with AI is that now I can just dump a lot of this data into my GPT and then have it like provide insights that I couldn't have possibly come up with before. That's like, I think, the brilliance. And also it does help me code faster. But if I use it through Code Cursor, or if I ask GPT-4 questions. But the real, I guess, interesting thing will be to see how it is that the AWS prediction like helps stuff. So I will report back on that when I'm able. And I forgot to like do this whole Fathom thing on the right hand side. Can you see that? I don't know if you guys can see that. I forgot to be adding highlights and stuff over here. But again, like, it's not like anybody would be able to use it, but it is going to create a transcript. If you want a transcript, DM me, or let's see. Yeah, so actually, so why am I making the transcripts? Because my goal is I'm building a RAG LLM using LangChain and my AWS Lambda, which is different from the AWS Lambda I have right now. It's just like a basic chatbot, but the LangChain version. And I chose AWS because it is much less expensive. It loads a lot faster because the Lambdas are always active, versus I tested some stuff in Streamlit with like this like Frosty app that they have online, and it took forever to load. So if it hasn't been used in a while, like, it's going to take forever to load. So it might look cooler, but like, to me, like, people don't care about how cool it is if it's taking up all their time waiting for it. So that's why I chose AWS. Plus, I'm more comfortable with AWS, and they do have like super good security features, and it is scalable. Dynamo database is free, and that's why I'm choosing to build it there. But all that said, it'll be very similar to the chatbot that you saw earlier, but I am collecting all of these, like the text over here. So I'm collecting the transcripts because I will be dumping them into like my own chatbot. So that when people sign up for my school course, like, it's easier for them to index through and like get to the nitty gritty of what they might have seen in a video but couldn't recall. So like, one of the big headaches I have is if I'm trying to learn something and I have to do keyword search stuff. Oh my God, that drives me nuts, because it's like, how do I guess what they were calling things if I'm the one learning? Like, how do I even begin to step into their shoes to, phrase the question exactly the way they typed it out? Like, that just drives me nuts. That's why I'm going to drop everything into like my LLM, which is one of the use cases of this chatbot stuff, is making it so that people can go to the website, and instead of having to read through a ton of stuff and like calling me and asking me like, can you do this, can you do that? In fact, I'm going to, if I switch to a different what is it called, contract or something, or when I answer contractor calls, and be like, ask my LLM, please. And so then, instead of anybody having to read through all this, or like not being able to just ask their question, because I don't like to answer my phone because I like my quiet time, then they can just ask the LLM directly and get their information that way. And of course, because it's using LangChain, it'll be like much more sophisticated and will be able to handle a lot more of the conversation history. So it'll be useful in that sense. And that is also like software as a service. And that will also be like, as I mentioned, just like repeatable code, just like it's already in the works. My friend Ahrefs is finishing it up. I designed it, but I asked him for help with the AWS stuff because I didn't want to accidentally miss something and then not have a stopgap. Because your company can go under if you use too much computation on AWS, and you like I thought Zapier would have had some kind of way to like check that you weren't stuck in infinite loops, and it didn't, and I didn't realize that, and I used up all my zaps like right away. But the reason I'm building it this way too is because I get to keep my own data. Like I always get to keep the emails. So that there's like so many reasons why I feel like this is a smarter approach, and like low code, no code people like it's no beef. I'm just saying, like, if you're somebody that understands the value of data, like, and email collection as like, like the new oil and all that, and wants like the digital asset side, the digital real estate side, that's why I'm doing this. Like, that's why you should contact me. And I can help you quickly get what you need so that your website is collecting data right away, and that you're able to then pump your own data back into your own AWS forecasting tool, like make wise decisions like right now, not like, whenever some group of nerds is able to figure out how to get everything put together. So that's like the value of having all these AI skills, is like you become like a freaking your own swarm or your own SEAL team of badass bots. The end.